From the bloodiest day in American history, to the emotional surrender of a Confederate general, to the president saving America from the brink of collapse, and then getting assassinated 5 days later. This is the American Civil War explained. A war so violent, it killed more Americans than any other war in US history. And if it wasn't for some legendary heroes, we wouldn't have made it out alive. But let's go back, cause wars don't just pop out of nowhere. They simmer, they stew, and by the time 1861 rolled around, exploded. Cause the United States was basically two worlds living under one flag. Up north, it was speeding towards the future, with factories, big cities, and railroads. And down south, well, the economy ran on cotton, an empire powered by 4 million slaves. But it wasn't just about dollars and cotton. It was about power, morality, and who got to define America. And this flared up every time a new territory joined the Union. Would it be a free state or a slave state? And here's the thing. Whoever controlled more states controlled Congress, controlled policy, and basically controlled the future. So for decades, presidents just slapped duct tape on the problem. The Missouri Compromise, the Compromise of 1850. It was like patching a sinking ship with a Band-Aid. Sir, we're gonna need more tape. And by Election Day 1860, it finally blew its lid. Cause unlike most presidents before him, Abraham Lincoln wasn't born sipping tea on fine china. He came from the dirt. Literally, he grew up in a one-room log cabin in Kentucky. His mother died when he was 9, and he had less than a year of schooling. But Lincoln had something you just can't teach: grit. Cause after a full day of chopping wood, he taught himself law. And by the time he stepped into politics, people called him Honest Abe, a lawyer that actually stood by his word. In fact, Abe once walked miles to return 6 cents of change to a customer he accidentally overcharged. That's the kind of guy this dude was, a man of character. But what made Lincoln so dangerous to the South is that he opposed the expansion of slavery. Cause when he got elected president without a single southern state, it was basically game over for the South. And South Carolina didn't wait around for the welcome speech. Cause before Lincoln could even unpack his bags, they seceded from the Union. And within weeks, 6 more states followed: Mississippi, Florida, Alabama, Georgia, Louisiana, and Texas, who all got together and formed a brand new nation, the Confederate States of America. But Lincoln didn't jump the gun and invade the South. Instead, it all started with an island fortress off the coast of Charleston, South Carolina, Fort Sumter, one of the last Union outposts in Confederate territory. The problem? Both sides claimed it. So Lincoln faced an impossible choice. If he sent supplies, the South would call it an invasion. If he abandoned the fort, the North would see him as weak. So he chose a middle path and sent only food. No guns, no ammo, just bread, beans, and the hope that the Confederates would just look the other way. My man was basically trying to deliver DoorDash to avoid the Civil War. But unfortunately, the South wasn't hungry for compromise. Cause Confederate General P.G.T. Beauregard gave the order: open fire! And for 34 straight hours, cannons thundered across Charleston Harbor. Yet somehow, miraculously, no one died. Ouch! But when the Union commander surrendered, the message echoed across the nation. War had begun. So Lincoln didn't waste a second and called for 75,000 volunteers to crush the rebellion, which ironically poured more fuel on the fire. Because 4 more states, Virginia, Arkansas, Tennessee, and North Carolina, joined the Confederacy. Sir, I think that backfired. But Virginia was the big one, the crown jewel, cause its secession didn't just double the Confederacy's size, it delivered their greatest military weapon,